together on a book. I was happy with it. Got that out. We got a little bit of a publicity. It's actually a ridiculous amount of credibility you get when you have it. It is. I mean, I put a seminar on a week or so ago with 22 lawyers, and the person who arranged that seminar for me got my credibility completely off the back of he's a published author on tax, which was just funny, but it was good. So it absolutely positions you exactly where you want to be positioned. So for a few grand, it really is a massive expert piece. Now, so that was on entertainment. The issue we had was, although the book was fine and it gave good credibility, the person who I was working with, who I wanted to develop that, it's not really my thing. So he was going to develop the practice, and then he decided to go and sort of work for Channel 4 and write scripts. So as a result, the marketing stuff around lights, camera, accountancy didn't actually happen, but notwithstanding that, it was still worth doing on a sort of more modest scale. This stuff is this one's in construction. It's much bigger. We've actually agreed with we're actually having a sort of firm of solicitors have allowed us to have I think up to 120 people to do a sort of press launch at their office. They're going to supply the drinks and canapes, which is very nice.
Wow.
So that's in February. I'm really pleased about that. They're going to publicise it. We're going to publicise it. So actually, the next one's going to be a much bigger thing. Also, the average fee value in the construction industry of work we do is significantly higher than in the entertainment one. So it's actually, and it's an area that I'm much more sort of probably keen personally to develop. So it's really just, to me, it's just a tool. It's a tool in our marketing. It is, I'm arrogantly going to say it's a well-written book. I think it is, and it's actually sort of really sort of helpful about what people really don't know about and what to think about. So actually, it will be. I think I will use the construction one much more than I use the other one. Also, for the work we do as JLA, it's construction is 40% of our client base. So it is it's a really important tool to taking the business on to the next stage.
Fantastic. And for those who are thinking that I'm going to start writing a book tomorrow, as a project, and I know I've just gone through the process myself, and it is a project. Would you mind sharing how long does it take? How much pain is involved in the process? What's the biggest hiccups that you've had?
First, let's go back. It's a self-published book, and I haven't gone to a publisher and say, "Oh, sponsor me X amount to write a book." So it's self-published. The planning-wise doesn't take terribly long. You sort of set out the chapters you want to put in. So the first thing we did was two of us planned out the chapters about the chapters we wanted to include in the book. We then divided up the chapters who was going to sort of write each chapter. So I think I had 7 chapters, and the other person had 7 chapters, and then we had actually a couple of guest chapters. So each chapter, it's really like a sort of English essay you get when you're 15. You plan it out. You plan out what you want to write. You do a bit of research, and you dictate it. It will take you 4 hours to do it, something like that, to get the first draft down. And once you've got the first draft, you then muck about with it. So getting that done. So typically that will be sort of a Sunday job. So probably over the space of 3 months. We got our chapters done, and then it goes through the sort of copywriting sort of upgrade. So we sort of critiqued each other, then got other people to sort of look at it, changed it around a little bit. That was that was a bit bitty. So there wasn't a massive amount of sort of. It wasn't like, oh, I'm going to spend 3 days on it constantly, but it probably was 3 days over a period or another, probably 2 months to sort of muck about with it. Then you go to sort of typesetter to set it out, make it look lovely, buy pictures to put in it. That probably took longer than I thought it was going to take, and a little bit of backwards and forwards. I didn't like some of the pictures. We had to change those a bit. So probably project-wise, 6 months. I've probably taken longer. It's probably taken 9 months, but you could do it in 6. Well, that's working full time. Obviously, not
Yeah,
working
yeah.
full time. You can get it done a lot quicker. But sort of squeezing it in for me, squeezing it into Sundays. So yeah, no. So yeah, the cost-wise, you've got some costs along the way. Obviously, the writing and getting typed up doesn't cost any resources in house, but you are then after sort of, it's about probably sort of, I don't know, we probably paid £2.5 to get it sort of set up, ready for printing, and then the printing is whatever you want to pay. We're going to do a 1,000 that's going to come out about, it's just under £2 a book, something like that, I think.
Mm.
We're doing a 90 gram paper or whatever. Oh, it gets a bit technical after that. Yeah, so it's something like that. So it's project-wise, cost-wise, I don't know, if you're for £5 or £6, something like that, which I appreciate is not nothing, but it's there's a little bit of ego of being a published author. That's a bit stupid, really, but it sort of it just positions you in just, you know, you're just in a slightly different place, because most people just nice way can't be asked to go through it. Not
Mm.
there's a much, yeah, it's not, you're self-published, so I could put any old crap in there. So it's not as if it's massively talented, but although I think by the time it's been through everybody, it's significantly better than the first draft that I knocked out. But it's, yeah, it just puts you in just a different category. So for me, it's the right thing. It's where I see myself. I like being thought of as a published author, and it just does have a lot of credibility.
Mm. Absolutely. So yes, cost-wise, there's some money involved.
Probably £6. But yeah, maybe £6. I mean, I don't know what you find when if someone comes to see me and leaves me with a brochure. I don't know how long it takes before that brochure hits my dustbin. If I'm polite, I will wait for them to actually leave the front door of the office. But it's not long, is it? You know, you've got nowhere to keep it. You're not frankly very interested in it. You get a book, you know, for whatever reason, psychologically, you don't throw it away.
Mm.
So it just does. It does, and I've got. Yeah, so it's just a different sort of. It just puts you in a slightly different position.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, thanks very much for sharing that. So for those of you who are thinking about publishing a book, just keep in mind that it is a project. It will take energy, and like Jeff says, it's going to take somewhere between 6 and 9 months of focused energy until the whole thing is done. So definitely something worth doing at some point when you are ready for it, if that's the right thing for you. Okay, Jeff, thanks very much for sharing that bit with us. So
Pleasure.
we'll put you back on mute on that one. Graham, I'm going to unmute you again because Ian came back and said even though we can't seem to hear him this morning, you've got the same answers as he has about the tax manager. So Graham, let's see if we can get you unmuted again. So
Hi, Rudy.
Hi. So do you mind sharing with us, because I know there's a few people looking for tax managers because they seem to be fairly rare. Where are you guys at with finding tax manager? What's been your process? What's the latest?
Well, we sort of made an offer to a lady we gave a second interview with on Monday evening, and we're hoping to hear back this morning as to whether she's picked us or the other firm that was in the running for her.
Okay, and just remind me, where are you guys based?
We're based near Warrington.
Okay, Warrington. And this process, how long have you been looking for somebody, and did it come through a recruitment consultant, or how's it worked?
It did come through a recruitment consultant, but we've been probably looking for a tax manager for the last sort of 2 to 3 months now.
Okay.
To try and find the right person to help take it forward.
Good. Okay, fantastic. So fingers crossed it works out. And if this one doesn't work out, I know I've mentioned to a few people before, I know a few of my clients in the past have used LinkedIn where they will directly look at other practices or even in the area or wider, looking for the right person and actually approaching them directly. Because there are so few around, relatively speaking, the person you're looking for has probably currently got a job. So if today doesn't work out with a tax manager, then that might be another possible option for you guys. But fingers crossed, it does work out. Okay, hey, thanks for sharing that. Good. I can put you back on mute there again. Good stuff. And then just the last few quarterly goals, I see NAS outsourcing 100% done, so well done on that, NAS. And full set grading of clients and allocated team 85%. Okay, fantastic. So that's where we are with the goals. Then next one, what is your one biggest project that you're working on this week? So go ahead and type that in there. What is your one biggest project that you are working on this week? So you're typing in there. Okay, Tony is the fastest typer, yeah. He's come back with a client referrals, good. Ian, pricing, testing the quick easy quote software, good. Graham says continuing with the outsourcing process, full allocated champion for customer service and systems, plus finish reading your book, good stuff. Jeff, focusing on finishing this chapter. Naz says everything. Naz, Naz, I'm going to have to unmute you to find out what everything means. Naz, in theory, you should be unmuted now.
Yeah, how are you?
Hey, good morning, Naz. Your one biggest project this week, everything. Give us a bit more.
Where we are is, as you know, we've had to make lots of little changes to facilitate big change. In that we needed to turn the tank around, and that has taken a long time, and it's taken a lot of changes. So it's actually the various different things that we've got going on are happening. We have daily huddles where the team are talking about what they've got to do during that day. We have I have a sit down with my head of accounts and tax twice a week now that reviews where they are with billing. So they are, in the daily huddle, they're talking about billing, what they're getting done, what's going out the door, etc., etc. They're all focused on finishing jobs, cash flow, improving serviceability, and everything like that. So all the things that we needed to work on are being worked on. And actually now my one biggest thing is making sure that they all make sure that all of those things continue to happen on a daily basis.
Okay, I'm with you. So it's a bit like the rider in the chariot with the horses. So everything is working, and your job is just to make sure it's all on track at the moment.
Yeah. So actually, I don't have to do any of it. I just have to make sure they continue to do it.
Okay, I get that, and I like it. Okay, nice. Hey, thanks for sharing that with us. So we're going to put you back on mute again. That's great. Thanks a lot. Good. Okay, and then I think that's good on that one there. So let's go to the next one here. Any roadblocks or questions? What do you need help with right now? So if there's anything up for you right now that you need help with this morning, then go ahead and type that in there. If there is nothing for you, then just please type in there, no, I'm okay, or just a no so I know. So that's good. And Phil's come back with a no, okay, so that's great. Okay, Jeff's got a question that's interesting. Jeff's question is, it would be really interesting to find out about what people want from the new tax manager, but I can see that Graham has gone off the call. There's probably something up for him. Ian, I'm just wondering, it would be really good if we could get your voice. Could I ask you to have a look on your control panel there? If you click on the audio option, the little audio box there, it should open up an option for you to call in with a telephone number. If you could dial in on that phone, it would be really useful, because then you could help us answer Jeff's question. And I can see Ian is busy doing that, so that's great. We'll just wait for him to come in there. That's great. Naz, you've got a question here. Let's unmute you again. So, Naz, your question, do you want to just tell us?
Yeah, in general terms, there's 2 or 3 staff that are becoming a little bit demotivated because they work directly under, I'll call it my business partner, who now is becoming very forgetful. And so he's not remembering things that he said he'd do with clients or things he said to them, and they're becoming frustrated, agitated, because he's becoming frustrated and agitated. And I'm just wondering whether there's anything I can do to keep them motivated, and try and create workarounds, just because he's going to be in the business for another 9 months. And before anyone says get rid of him, it's my father, so I can't.
And no, okay, so let me just make sure I've understood this correctly. So your father, and I believe from memory that he's got a separate premises that he's working from as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, but because he's going to retire in September of next year, I'm now trying to merge that Brighton office functionality into the Canterbury office. So I'm getting dragged more and more into it. And what I'm finding is that they're demotivated working under him because he's forgetting everything. But I can't turn around to my father and say, stop doing anything, because it'll probably kill him. So I just wonder if there's a way to work around his forgetfulness in the short term.
Okay, let me ask you also, how many team members does he have there that are becoming unmotivated now?
4.
Okay. And in that operation, is there a clearly written down organizational structure so that everybody knows exactly how they fit in?
I think I need to clarify that, because I think the answer is no. But I think there is, but I think in that there is a structure, but I don't think it's written down. I don't think they know it.
Okay, so my 2 pence worth on how to go about doing this. So leadership is influence, and influence is leadership. So
Okay.
I'm thinking that go there and with your father or with the team, however you're going to do this, but get a written down organizational structure for that office.
Okay.
And ensure everyone's clear on that, because that is what, and that's the current reality. And then through your wily ways and influence, you, in inverted commas, with complete respect, promote your father into a different type of role within that structure, and you insert yourself into that structure slowly but surely, so that essentially you're not working your father, well, not directly, blatantly, bluntly, you're not working your father out as such, you're kind of moving him sideways. I'm thinking out loud, okay? So you're kind of moving sideways.
No, I'm listening. Yeah.
Okay, so you're moving him sideways within that written down organizational structure so that he's still got a fair amount of responsibility and doing what he needs to do to keep him busy until his retirement day. But in the meantime, you move yourself in, and you, through your influencing abilities, you move yourself into that structure, and that those who are currently demotivated can see clearly that actually there is a light at the end of this tunnel. Yes, it is September, but in the meantime, actually you're taking over more and more, or you create a project manager there who becomes the person taking over more and more, however it's going to work for you.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
but by sitting down, especially with a written down organizational structure, that people are clear on this is how it is now, this is how it's going to be in the future, that they have a, shall we say, more of a vision. Well, it is more visionary, but it's also practically how you can start taking over more and therefore influence more as well.
Okay.
That's one element. Another element might be to sit each one of them down and ask them a question. If you had to rate this 0 to 10, how demotivated are you at the moment? Well, you might not use those words exactly, but something to that effect. And if they said to you, oh, I'm a 2, or if 2 is, no, if it's a very high, so if it's an 8
how motivated are you, and the answer's 2, then they're not motivated.
Okay, correct, yes. So if they say it's a 2, then you know with this specific individual I need to work, and you say to them, okay, to move it from 2 to a 4, what needs to happen? So you ask the question, because the person who says it owns it, and let them get a buy into, well, in order for me to move from a 2 to a 4, I need to do blah, blah, blah. So fantastic, and help them make that happen so that they can see that there's proactivity from your side, but also they can take more control of what is, well, of their destiny, of what's happening.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's really helpful on both counts, Rudy. Thank you, because I'm going down there today, so actually I'm going to put that in today. So thank you.
Yeah, but definitely leadership is influence, so go ahead and influence the situation. Good. Okay, so start there, and then, yeah, let me know how you get on if we need anything else. And if there's anyone else on the call who has any other ideas, then let me know as well. Just type in chat box. Okay, good. So give that a go. That might make a difference already.
Thanks, Rudy. Thank you.
Okay, good stuff. Okay, then Ian, I think we should have you on the phone now, so let's see. Ian, in theory, we should be able to hear you now.
Hello.
Oh, there we go. Fantastic. Morning,
Yeah.
Ian. Welcome on. I'm actually going to open Jeff up at the same time because he's got a question for you. So, Jeff, you and Ian should be able to speak now.
Yeah, I was interested. You're taking on a tax manager. We've just sort of had one who's recently given his notice in and disappeared a few days ago, which is a bit frustrating. But I just wondered what your process was and what you were looking for to achieve by taking on a tax manager.
Yeah, it's a personal tax manager. So our structure, I've got myself, Graham, and Sarah are the partners, and Sarah's our tax partner. But her strength is corporate. And we've always had a structure with a personal tax manager, but we had a few false starts over the last 18 months. We've had 2 or 3 that haven't worked out for us. So we've had a spell where we thought we'd try and manage without one, with all the account staff doing their own tax returns for their own clients. And for one reason or another, I mean, it's probably good news because they're all very, very busy doing other client matters. That doesn't seem to be happening as quickly as we hoped. And we want, and Sarah was getting sucked into doing more routine personal tax work, which wasn't doing her any good whatsoever. And we recognise the fact that we still need this person to help in that area, to oversee the quality assurance of all the personal stuff. And we've also got a payroll department, and the person who used to assist in that area, he's moved to practice more local to where he lives. So there's a big risk area there in that there's no cover. If our payroll manager is off for any reason, it's again, it sucks the partners in when it shouldn't do. Whereas the lady who we saw earlier in the week and hopefully will be accepting, she's hands-on with payroll and very au fait with it. So she fits in a variety of different areas, and the key for us, we think she'll fit in the team. That was the #1 priority. Technically, she seems capable as well. So with fingers crossed, we've got a combination that should work for us.
So the idea is that the team will still continue to do personal tax returns, but your tax manager will review them, or?
Yeah, in theory, yes, but we've got an assorted, at this moment in time, an assortment of clients, what we call the client service managers. Some will religiously do the tax return as part of the job. Others will just leave it for whatever reason. And at this time of year, it all gets a bit crazy. And in the past, we've always had somebody who's completely au fait with this, with tax returns. That can just move them out without any problems. Well,
yeah,
without any unusual problems.
Yeah,
so we thought we tried to do without one, but I think we're kidding ourselves, particularly now we've obviously joined forces with Rudy and recognise that as partners, if we don't get somebody like this person, we will not go forward. We will just continue doing what we're doing and just be sucked into it, and without doing the really important stuff.
Yeah, no, it's we because of this person left, we're in we're just to be honest just stuck. But I've acknowledged that there's no way, looking at my watch, what date does it say? Yeah, the 30th November. We're going to be able to find someone that's going to be able to do anything for us this tax season.
Yeah, well, that's what I must confess. There was a little bit of a knee-jerk reaction because this lady was only on 1 week's notice. So as soon as I saw that, and she was fairly local, I thought we must at least have a look at her.
I'll have her. Yeah, no, I get
but as soon as that happened, so we recruited, saw her, and then lo and behold, this week we got another CV in. On paper, looks probably technically better, but she's on. I think she's on 8. I don't think she's available till April. So we couldn't wait that long at this particular. Long term, that person might be better for us, but in the short term, she fits all the boxes, and if she works well, she'll be brilliant for the team going forward.
Are you going to put her on a temporary contract, or just a sort of normal sort of notice period?
Six month probation before she gets some of the perks.
Fine, so that's amazing. Yeah, it's just so frustrating. I'm just like, I have no idea what to do at the moment. We're clutching at straws with seeing really crappy CVs and saying, oh, maybe they're all right.
Yeah.
And and we're just, because it's 2 months to go, I've just taken the view that let's just find, we're trying to is really find some sort of competent administrator just to sort of do the sort of admin function of getting everyone to function it through and everyone to do what they need to do, and hopefully sort of a more sort of cursory review at a higher level. But it's just so frustrating. I mean, we took someone on, they left, I hate this time of year. It's just awful. So you've gone effectively. I think we've gone through a very similar process, but you seem to be a bit more fortunate than we are.
Yeah, and we've a trainee accountant who had some tax experience. She's moved on, but we've actually replaced. Her replacement comes and she starts next week. So we've all in the plan. We've already earmarked this young girl to help with the processing of the tax returns as well. So
you've got that as well.
So we've got she won't even go into the accounts department on day one. She'll go into tax, and Sarah, and hopefully this new girl Melissa, they'll be able to work together and bash things out, and obviously it'll help the trainee as well. So she'll get that experience.
Okay, no, that's helpful. That's really helpful. It's just that process. I think I feel comfortable with the process we've gone through and realise it's not.
But the frustrated thing, everyone has gone to an agent, so it's just. I don't want to think about it. It would ruin my Wednesday if I think too hard about what we pay. trying to get a tax manager. I could have had the Panamera on the front drive now.
I mean, we just recruited somebody about 4 months ago. They've left, so we got the full recruitment fee, everything, and then they left anyway. So it's really frustrating. I think tax people are just a bit special. But okay, that's really helpful. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Jeff. Okay,
good. Okay, thanks, Ian, for that. Jeff, just a question, and I'm asking this completely out of ignorance, but using outsourcing companies to help with an element of this tax work, is that not really an option?
It will have no effect for us at all.
Okay.
Simply because it's not the process. It's not the entering the information on tax return. That's genuinely that's 10 minutes. It's getting the information to process, and that's what that's what takes the time in any outsource. And we actually got an email from the company we outsource to, trying to sell us more accounting service. Got that yesterday, and it was like, no, not interested. It's not. It's that it just won't help. I know our client base. It's a nice voice chasing that will make a difference. Not actually typing the numbers in, because when we got them, that takes a minute.
Okay, I understand that. Okay, good luck. Did you ever manage to speak to that the South African recruitment agent that I mentioned to you?
No, I haven't followed that, because we had a couple of other leads to follow through, so I haven't done that yet. I think we acknowledge we do need a tax manager, but we've just realised of the dross that we're getting when nothing's going to help us through this year's tax season.
Okay,
so
it is what it is.
So effectively put things on hold for a little while.
Okay, good. Okay, good luck with that as well then. All right, so we'll put you on mute on that one as well. Good stuff. Okay, so there don't seem to be any other questions or roadblocks, so that's good. And then that'll take us to the last screen. What is your biggest insight or takeaway from this morning's call? So just go ahead and type that in for us. Biggest insight or takeaway from this morning's call. And whilst you're doing that, I believe most of you by now should have received a copy of the book that I've just written and published. And for most of you, you'll see when you read that the book literally in 200 odd pages takes you through the process that you're in at the moment and where you'll get to. So I think you'll find it quite interesting, because it literally in a snapshot, a shortish book, it gives you the whole process that you're going through. Okay, so Nas says, biggest insight, the answer you gave me on how to deal with my particular issue. Good. Jeff, no magic answers to Tax Manager. Unfortunately not. Graham says client grading and service levels. Jeff says no book yet. Okay, Jeff, I'll follow up with that. Yeah, no, so that's for Jeff. Yeah, we'll get that to you in the post, Jeff. Ian, working on A+ clients only is the way forwards. Definitely for you at the top, yeah. And Ian, actually interesting, I had one client once based in Leeds where he was one of, I think, 5 partners, and basically the partnership split up, but he disintegrated the partnership. But what he did is that he retained all the A+ clients. And I think at the end of the day, he had something like 80 clients left, but his requirement for all his entire client base was that he would get a fee of £10,000 plus per year per client, otherwise he wouldn't have them as clients. So he would only take on people that had the potential to get there. So a fantastic and highly profitable practice that he had there, because he had relatively few people working on this client base, but excellent. Okay, so Phil says getting work on is more of an issue than processing of work, and nice to hear others have same issue, and recruiting admin person may help this. Absolutely. Okay, fantastic. Good stuff. So I think that brings us to the end of this morning's call. It does indeed. So, hey, wish all of you a fantastic rest of the day, fantastic rest of the week, and for most of you, I will see you next week in near East Midlands Airport then. Okay, have yourselves a great day, and speak soon. Okay, bye for now.